Hey, good morning.
Hi, Curran. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, Kate. Yes, I can hear you fine.
Great.
Yeah,
How are
not too
you?
bad, thanks. Not too bad at all.
That's good.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah, so this is, for everyone who's joining us, this is the second in our series of webinars about letting agencies and the new normal and the rise of prop tech. I should caveat that not everybody who works in prop tech is Northern Irish. Even though we're given that impression. But yeah, today I'm joined by Kate Nolan, who's Business Development Manager at Tilt Property Software, who's a partner of RentProfile, and we're integrated into their system. And today I'll be in the host seat and asking Kate a few questions, which is a change. So that's nice. But Kate, maybe you want to start off by introducing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who may not know me, I'm a business development executive with Tilt Property Software. Bit of background about me. I've actually worked in property management for the last 4 years. So I have walked in your shoes. I was a property manager. I managed a portfolio of rental properties. And for that lettings agency, I was also the business development manager. So that's why I thought it was important today to discuss how you can use PropTech to your advantage to really set yourself apart from your competitors. And hopefully I can give you some tips and tricks. And these aren't just, I haven't just made them up. This is all stuff that I can assure you I've tried and tested myself.
Terrific. And just to intro myself, in case you don't know me, my name's Curran. I head up agency partnerships at RentProfile. So Kate, we'll kick off. Can you explain to me in brief what Origin, the CRM that Tilt provides, what does it do, and why do I need it as an agent?
Yeah. So Origin is a property management and lettings cloud-based software. So it provides letting agents and property managers with a full end-to-end system for your property management needs. So right through from marketing and uploading your properties via portal feeds to all of the sort of standard places that you would, like Rightmove or whoever else you might use, your own website, to the very end of the process where you're, well, not just finalizing a tenancy, but also managing that tenancy and the maintenance that goes along with that, to the end where you're managing the end of tenancy and say that tenant moving out, and then trying to fill that property again, perhaps with another tenant. So it does manage that sort of full property management and letting cycle. And obviously it's a true cloud-based system, meaning that you can log into our software, whether you're lying on a beach in Portugal or Spain or something in 2021, because I know travel's not really that hot right now. Or you could be sitting in your sitting room like most of us are at the minute, working from home. So it's really good for remote working.
Right, understood. And so how have your clients, Kate, have they sort of adapted to the new normal? Are they using sort of Origin more to run their businesses? Have you had any feedback on that?
The impression that I get, and I'm sure everyone's experience will be different, but I know that a lot of people were relieved that they were already on a cloud-based system, and it wasn't because it's not server-based. They were able to just literally pick up their laptop and start working from home with quite a minimal disruption. So I think the general consensus was relief that they already had a solution for this in place. They didn't realize that maybe at the time how important being cloud-based was and is, but I think it's become really apparent now, and it's expected anyway. I mean, it's pretty much the normal thing to have. But we have clients who are maybe with us over 10 years, 15 years, and they've been on a cloud-based system this whole time. And can you imagine if something like this had happened 10 years ago? I think everything would have fallen apart. So, anyone who's been with Origin and is with Origin, I think, could breathe a sigh, a sigh of relief, and knowing that they could just literally hop onto their laptop or system at home and work as normal.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's pretty important. I imagine it would have been even more of a shock to the system if suddenly you're not able to work from home as efficiently as you think you might have been, and most of your well, all of your property management is stuck somewhere else. But in terms of, I suppose, moving past this, as I hope we're starting to do, Kate, do you think, I mean, how would Origin be placed to kind of power growth in a letting agent's portfolio as they want to move into the new normal?
Yeah, so look, it goes without saying, one of the things that is top of mind for me when it comes to Origin, it saves people a lot of time. And I think that's what hinders, if you're a lettings agency and you don't have a business development manager, or you don't have a business development executive, and you're maybe a one-man band, and you're doing your property management, you're doing the role of lettings agent, and then you're trying to grow your own business as well, is going to free up a lot of time for you. So if you do find that you are time poor, what this does, it'll streamline a lot of processes, and it'll automate a lot of things for you. Therefore, you're kind of then freeing up time to focus on growth tasks and to really focus on that part of your business. And truth be told, that's something that's really left by the wayside. It's very far down the priority list. I know when I was working as a property manager, what was top of mind for me was, if I had vacant properties, I wanted to make sure that I was on top of that. Any urgent property maintenance, if I got a phone call which is 5 o'clock on a Friday, you would have always got a phone call about a hot water system not working or something, that was major. I'd have to drop everything and make sure that that was getting seen to. And listen, those things do crop up. Origin's not going to stop that from happening, but what it will do is it'll make it easier for you to manage that. And in that instance, you could look back at your maintenance and see, was this reported before? What supplier, what contractor did I send out to deal with that in the past? Or so it will really help you free up a lot of time, which is key when it comes to growth, because with growth, it can't be rushed. You really need to think about what you're doing. And a lot of the time it's building relationships with people, and those things take time. It's not like something you can just tick off a list, which would be nice. It really does require an investment of a lot of your own time, which unfortunately, if you're a property manager or a lettings agent, you just don't have a lot of.
You're putting out the fires all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and I guess with Origin, what I think is really useful, moving on to like the growth side of things, if you're going to say a listing appointment or valuation, and you're going to win the business, you might be up against maybe 2 or 3 other agents, and you have to think, how am I going to set myself apart from everybody else? So hopefully by this stage, Origin will have saved you enough time where you've got enough time to actually focus on what you're doing, and hopefully it's not at the bottom of your list. But even if it is, there's lots of things in there that can really set you apart. And I think the key to this is really finding out before you go to your listings appointment or your valuation, is to find out what their pain points are, what this potential landlord, what keeps them up at night. And a big one, I don't know, Curran, if you would agree, there's 2 that pop into my head immediately. One would be, is my tenant going to pay rent on time? And the second one is, are they going to look after my property? And obviously that's where RentProfile comes in, where that integration with RentProfile, if you can demonstrate to that landlord that, listen, we've got that covered, we use a reputable company, we have double the checks, and in fact can sometimes help you get this done faster, that's a tick from that landlord. So already straight away you're walking in confident, demonstrating your ability to really manage their property to the best of your ability and confidently. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for confidence.
And this is, you're absolutely right. We see this all the time, of kind of when a reference request is put through one of our agents, and the speed that report comes back again, and they're sharing that with the landlords immediately have confidence off the back of that. They're saying, well, this is a quick turnaround. I'm not kind of being kicked. I don't have to ring you and say, what's the sort of status of this? And so they're ringing us. The turnaround is really, really important and crucial. So I completely agree with you. I suppose one other question I would have then, because Connor sort of put me in the spot in the last webinar, so I'm going to cheaply do the same with you. What are your predictions for next year? What do you think the lettings industry is going to look like? Is there going to be sort of more consolidation? Is there going to be a bigger uptake of prop tech, do you think? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think it's obviously highlighted now it's an absolute necessity now to make sure that you're prepared for any kind of scenario. And I think those who maybe didn't have these sorts of solutions in place perhaps will have really felt that. And if by next year, I would be surprised, Curran, to be honest, if people already haven't started making those changes now. And as a knock-on result, I think we're going to see some really strong disruptions and development within the prop tech industry, you know, that will come as a knock-on effect for this.
I think you're exactly right, because once you sort of get used to a good piece of prop tech that enhances that part of the service, it's really hard to then go back to doing it manually or to going back to kind of a paper-based process. We're sort of seeing the same thing. So I think hopefully it's a trend that's here to stay. But yeah, I suppose we should take some questions from any of the webinar attendees if there are any. So what I'll do is I'll pop our cameras off here and we can try and answer any questions. But thank you very much, Kate.
No worries. Thanks, guys. And just finally, for anybody who might have questions or queries, I do have an ebook which has lots of little tips and tricks for growth and lots of things that you can implement into your own agency, which I'll share a link with you guys and you can all have access
fantastic.
to.
And get that out to everyone in the webinar.
Cool. Thanks, guys. We'll answer your questions shortly.